Look, there's no way I missed her. I mean, we had a connection.
Yeah, that's right. I read my first romance book. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Kaylin Rehema. In here we talk about faith journeys, struggles, and a lot of vibes. So why did I choose to read a romance book? I always have the same genre. I always read the same genre. It's either fast sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Not the ones for aliens or anything, or like divergent type of things, Hunger Games, things that make you think. The second genre is nonfiction, so people's lives. One of my favorites is Brother Andrew, and it's basically about him taking Bibles to China, taking them and everything, and just the struggles and what he was thinking about. I don't really like self-help books and everything, but that's not even why we're here. We're not going to talk about the genres I like, but why romance books? Why? I just thought, let me get out of my comfort zone. Let me come out of what I'm used to and try see. Because to be honest, it's not my first time reading a romance novel. Because when I was, I think, in middle school or something, I used to actually read a lot of romance books. Sorry, mom. And let me tell you, these Wattpad stories. Thank the Lord for saving me out of those things. Generally, I think Wattpad stories were just another form of, and that's because that's not for all, but genuinely there was just so much going in those stories. I wonder if Wattpad is still a thing. Do people still read from Wattpad? And is there a new type of Wattpad that's out there? I don't know. I honestly just thank God I came out of it because, funny enough, I passed by this girl called Heyy fam. She was talking about her favorite books, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna try this one. I think I want to read a romance novel. So what is the book? The book is called Better Than the Movies, and the storyline is this girl has a neighbor that lives next to her, and she just dislikes this guy. Every time he keeps on packing at her spot, just throwing things at her. I don't know, ever since they were kids, he was just that annoying kid. It is a friends to lovers, so enemies to lovers. True. Her mind is very romantic. She always cares. She just everything is romantic to her. It's tied out to the death of her mom, and it's deep, but it's better than the movie. So for her, she has this idea of what love and romance is supposed to be like, that it blinds her from seeing that her neighbor really liked her from the beginning, ever since she was in grade 2. Listen, I read this book in one night. This book is amazing. The author is just so captivating. Honestly, I was expecting myself to roll my eyes all throughout this book. But I gotta say, it was so good. Needless to say, let's just get into things that I was just like, this would not happen in reality. Romance books often depict idealized versions of love and relationships, presenting perfect characters and storylines. Real-life relationships, on the other hand, involve real people with flaws and challenges and complexities. This is not to say that this book didn't have complexities, within the characters. The main character, the girl, she had mommy issues since she had lost her mom, and at a very young age, and her identity was kind of stuck to not forget the mom and everything as she moves on with life, and just her navigating life through that. And the boy, on the other hand, was, you know what? I really don't know. The second one is conflict resolutions. In romance books, conflicts are often resolved in a neat and satisfying manner. I mean, in this book, the main character has a best friend, and she basically lies to the best friend more than once, more than twice, more than thrice. And it's just resolved after a talk. She's like, oh, this is what I was going through, blah, blah, blah. And it's completely resolved, and they're back to being best friends forever. And sometimes, in real life, if that was to happen, sometimes yes, you can resolve in a conversation, but the truth is it might never go back to normal. It might never go back to, you end up having boundaries and trust issues and all of those good stuff. So it is true to at some extent, but it's not always that neat. I talked to you for 1 minute and you've lied to me 3 times. The third one is time and pacing, and this is the same for movies. I noticed, like, in our lives, social media has brought that things are fast. I fall in love really quick. They fall in love back with me very quick. I get a house really quick. I get a college. I get, everything is so fast paced in social media. And also, even when we watch movies, it's so fast paced. And I understand, because no one's about to watch a whole 60-minute video of somebody just doing nothing. It's just uneventful, it's boring, and they're just weird and awkward pauses. So I do get it, but I feel like we as the consumer should know that this is content. It's not realistic. My fourth one is, in romance books, authors control the narrative and the actions of the actors, ensuring a desired outcome. Real life relationships involve two individuals with their own agency, decisions, and unpredictability that comes with personal choices. At the end of this book, I knew she's gonna love the next door neighbor, and literally the book starts like finishing up when she finally gets into her feelings about this guy, and this guy tells her how much he loves her and everything. And that's the thing about romance books. Like, that's why people really like them, because it's kind of predictable, and even if it's not predictable, you kind of have a good feeling at the end, or a sad feeling, but it's coming. It's very controlled. Like, there's nothing that's really out of the author's hand. And for us, life is not like that. Like, I can go in like a whole staircase of wrong things that can happen to someone who you think you're in love with, or who you like. You can come tell somebody you like them, oh, they don't like you. Just, there's so many complexities in life, and you can never really know what's gonna happen. So those are just some things that I noticed when I read this book. I was just like, there's a lot that is not realistic. But will I stop reading? Is this my last time? No, it's really not. To be honest, if I was going to give it stars, I'd give it a 5-star, because it's so good. The author did a good job. And also I love the fact that it has no spice in it, because I can't go back. I won't go back. I can't go back to my old Wattpad ways. I've left those ways. I am now a new person. If Wattpad still is a thing, guys, let's do better. Because honestly, it's not it. I think, first of all, the idealization of relationships, if you read so much of such stories, it's not realistic, and it kind of can ruin the way you look at life and relationships, and ruin your own relationships in your life. Secondly, it just has so many dirty things, like so much, like I think the point for me for this whole video is that it's okay to consume. When you're consuming social media, reading books, watching movies, and getting all these different genres up in your life, but it's best to know what is realistic and what is not realistic, and not to walk in life with expectations like a romance novel, because it's not gonna be like in the movies, you know what I mean? But who am I? Maybe I will be working in the storeways in university and drop my books and find the love of my life. Who knows? Thank you guys for watching this episode. Hope to see you in my next episode. Thank you for everyone that has subscribed and liked and shared. I really appreciate, and I hope you'll really have a good time this week or this day or whenever you're listening to this or watching this. Bye.